breaking news from Washington, D.C. has sent shockwaves through the political establishment. Over 150 of President Trump's nominees remain in limbo as the Senate has departed for their August recess without a deal. This isn't just politics as usual. This is an unprecedented blockade that's paralyzing the Trump administration's ability to govern. Today, we're diving deep into what's being called the worst confirmation crisis in modern Senate history and why this could change the rules of the game forever. Stay tuned, because what happens next could reshape American politics. Let's start with the numbers that should alarm every American who voted for change. As lawmakers departed Washington for their month-long August recess, more than 150 of President Trump's nominees remain stuck in Senate purgatory. This isn't about controversial picks or cabinet positions. We're talking about essential government roles: U.S. attorneys, ambassadors, and department officials who are critical to running our government effectively. According to Fox News reporting from August 3rd, key positions across Trump's administration remain unfilled. Former National Security Advisor Mike Waltz is still awaiting confirmation as U.S. ambassador to the United Nations. Andrew Puzder hasn't been confirmed as ambassador to the European Union, one of America's most important trading relationships. At the Department of Justice, Stanley Woodward's nomination for Associate Attorney General remains stalled, along with nominations for U.S. attorney positions in Florida, Idaho, Iowa, Pennsylvania, and South Dakota. Here's what makes this truly unprecedented. Senate Democrats have refused to allow any Trump nominee to be confirmed through the traditional unanimous consent process. 0, not 1. Compare this to previous administrations. During Biden's first term, 150 nominees were confirmed by the time the Senate left for August recess. Under Trump's current situation, Democrats are forcing time-consuming procedural votes on every single nominee, even for non-controversial positions. Senate Majority Leader John Thune called the confirmation process broken and said the rules governing nominations are desperately in need of change. And he's absolutely right. What we're witnessing isn't normal Senate procedure. It's calculated obstruction designed to cripple the Trump administration's ability to implement the agenda that Americans voted for. The breaking point came this weekend when negotiations between Trump, Senate Republicans, and Democratic leader Chuck Schumer completely collapsed. According to multiple reports from The Hill, NPR, and other sources, the talks fell apart after Democrats made unreasonable demands, including reversing Trump administration's spending cuts on foreign aid as a condition for allowing nominees to proceed. Here's where it gets really interesting. President Trump, showing the kind of leadership his supporters expect, took to Truth Social with a message that cut right through the political games. He told Republicans, "Tell Schumer, who is under tremendous political pressure from within his own party, the radical left lunatics, to go to hell. Do not accept the offer. Go home and explain to your constituents what bad people the Democrats are." Now, the mainstream media is clutching their pearls over Trump's direct language, but let's be honest, this is exactly the kind of straight talk that got him elected. While Democrats play political games with essential government positions, Trump is calling them out for what they are: obstructionists who care more about resisting his agenda than serving the American people. But here's where the story gets really significant for the future of American governance. Senate Republicans are now seriously considering what's called the nuclear option, changing Senate rules to speed up confirmations. This would eliminate the Democrats' ability to slow walk every single nominee through procedural delays. The nuclear option isn't unprecedented. Democrats used it in 2013 under Harry Reid to eliminate the 60-vote threshold for lower court nominees when they wanted to ram through Obama's picks. Republicans used it again in 2017 for Supreme Court nominees. Now, with Democrats showing they're willing to obstruct even the most basic government functions, Republicans may have no choice but to act. Senator John Barrasso put it perfectly. This isn't normal. This is petty partisan politics at its worst. Republicans are not backing down. We will continue to confirm President Trump's nominees. The easy way if we can, the hard way if we must. Think about what this means for American governance. We have a president who won a decisive electoral mandate, yet Democrats are using Senate procedures to prevent him from staffing his own administration. This isn't just about Trump. It's about whether the American people's vote actually matters, or whether a minority of senators can override the will of the voters through procedural games. The consequences go far beyond politics. With interim prosecutors approaching their 120-day term limits and diplomatic posts remaining unfilled, our national security and law enforcement capabilities are being compromised by Democratic obstruction. When America's enemies see us unable to even confirm basic government positions, what message does that send about our strength and unity? Here's what you need to understand about the Democrats' strategy. They're not just opposing Trump's nominees on merit, they're opposing the very concept of Trump being able to govern effectively. Senator Schumer admitted as much when he said they've never seen nominees as flawed, as compromised, as unqualified as we have right now. This isn't about individual qualifications, it's blanket opposition to anyone Trump nominates. But there's a silver lining to this crisis. It's exposing the Democrats' true colors to the American people. While they claim to care about democracy and norms, they're the ones breaking Senate traditions and preventing the peaceful transition of power to continue. They're showing that their commitment to democracy only extends to when they're in power. Looking ahead, when the Senate returns in September, Republicans will face a choice: continue allowing Democrats to paralyze the government or take decisive action to change the rules. Given the stakes, and given that Democrats have already broken these norms when it suited them, the choice seems clear. This confirmation crisis represents a pivotal moment in American politics. Will we allow a minority of senators to override the will of the American people, or will our elected representatives take the necessary steps to ensure Trump can implement the agenda voters chose? The answer will determine not just the success of this administration, but the future of American democracy. The battle lines are drawn, and September promises to be a defining moment. Thanks for watching, and remember, the only way to counter mainstream media bias is to stay informed with the truth. We'll be here to bring you the real story as it unfolds.